On to Battleground, Arizona, and on the mark. And here we go again. A brand new election cycle, the 2020 race for the White House. The person who will ultimately be the face of our country. Someone who sets the tone for who we are and what we believe, what we value, and what we stand for. It's a time of hope and for excitement for that great American tradition that lies ahead, the election. A time where we shape and plot a course for where we go for the next 4 years. A time when politicians will try to convince you that they have the fortitude to stand up to our enemies, the compassion to put our ideals ahead of partisan dogma, and the wisdom to know that we're better united than we are divided. Someone who possesses the grace and civility and humanity that befits whoever should be fortunate enough to sit in that office. But from where I sit, this should also be a time for reflection. Are we moving forward or have we taken a step back? It's the question that you will hear over and over again for the next, are you ready for this? 495 days. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Here's what I hope. I hope that we can stop defining ourselves as Republicans or Democrats and instead, let's just get back to being Americans. We've all walled ourselves off in our own little encampments. We put on our partisan uniforms, red against blue, and we go to war with each other. Somewhere we got off track. What defines us isn't our party, it's our history, our compassion, our ability to think for ourselves. We're innovators and collaborators, inventors and achievers. We invented the airplane, the internet. We came up with the cure for polio, and we put a man on the moon. Remember what that felt like? That unbelievable pride that we bathed in that night. We weren't Republicans or Democrats that night. We were proud Americans. So where do you stand? Do we want to be that great, compassionate house on the hill that drew generations of great people here? Or do we need to wall ourselves off and practice isolationism? Maybe we do. Maybe, as some have suggested, we are too full to take on anyone else. And if that's true, how do we hang up the no vacancy sign, but do it with kindness and compassion? And finally, my hope is that whoever wins this next election will take on one of the greatest challenges this country has ever faced. It isn't immigration or the economy or climate change. It's us. There is a palpable anger in this country that's not doing any of us any good. We spend more time pointing the finger and giving the finger than we do working on making our country greater. We want to put the blame on something or someone, but really the culprit is staring at us in the mirror. Let's use the kickoff to this election season to reflect on ourselves. This is still the greatest country on earth. We just have to let go of the anger. I leave you with something John Hancock said in the Declaration of Independence. We must be unanimous. There must be no pulling different ways. We must hang together. Let's get back to hanging together.